Hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Cassidy or Starr, and I am a Light Renegade, part of a collective of Pleiadian beings, bringing you information from the Veil and the galaxies beyond. So today I've got another message for you, another channeling from Diana, the former Princess of Wales. If you haven't been to my channel before, you might want to go back and start at the beginning of Diana's messages. There is a continuation kind of happening here with her disclosing some information about her life and the royal family. So if this still interests you, please start from the beginning. However, if you do feel super called to this message in particular, then stay where you are and find out what there is here for you. Few things before I start. I am really struggling with energy at the moment. Past couple of days I felt very disconnected, very fragmented, and very like it's difficult for me to kind of keep my focus on anything. And I had a massive activation in my third eye when I was meditating late last night, and I kind of got a message and a download today that sort of the steering wheels, the training wheels are kind of being taken off from me slowly. So I'm being called to sort of stand on my own 2 feet a little bit more. I think the teams behind me are kind of entrusting me that, you know, I can find my way, and they're obviously still there, but I think they're just giving me a new level of responsibility over my own energy, over my own orientation, and kind of how I'm connecting with things. So I'm feeling a bit of a disconnect to kind of connect in a little deeper, I think, and this has been going on for the past few weeks. So if you are in that similar energy, I guess that's just a confirmation that nothing is wrong, nothing is going wrong, you are on the right track. But if you are feeling a bit of a disconnect, I think it's either to upgrade you, that normally happens too, you kind of feel a little bit disconnected and then you get a massive upgrade, and then all of a sudden you just feel back and full of energy and a little bit more than you had in the first place. So I think you're either getting an upgrade or you are ready to kind of take the wheel a little bit more for yourself. So you're being encouraged to keep an eye on your own energy, make sure that you are focusing in on the things that are important to you, and making sure that you are validating self and acknowledging your feelings at this time. Don't let anything slip you by. Nothing is a coincidence. I made a note that I keep wearing this t-shirt for these channelings. This is not what I've been wearing for the rest of the day, but I've been putting this on to channel with, and I find that really interesting that I've just been wearing black to channel these messages. I thought, wow, okay, that's something. Yeah, little side note there, but that's it from me. Diana's been here, but kind of not really here. I felt her energy, but she didn't want to come through and talk to me specifically for a length of time today. We kind of just had a quick exchange, and then I channeled this message. I think that it's really a lot for her to bring all of this back up, at least that fractal of her. I think that she's kind of grieving in real time and, you know, finally sharing her story. You have to think this has been a long time waiting for her to be able to share this too. So I think somewhere, some part of her is still processing that. So we're going easy. Today's message might be alarming for some, probably not if you are following the rest of these channelings in real time. But yes, there is some mention of a little bit of gore, but yeah, I just wanted to share that before I delved in. But this chapter is called Who Was I to Trust? There's no introduction either from her today. She kind of just goes straight in it, so I'm going to do that too. I began to feel very lonely, very disorientated, and very confused. I could feel myself slipping away. It felt as though my mind was cracking. I couldn't make sense of anything. Part of me didn't want to. Yet I knew I had to face it all with no veil. I couldn't pretend any longer that I wasn't in danger or that my children were safe. Praying helped. My mind began to clear, and I was able to see it all so clearly. I was able to dig deep into the back of my mind to remember all those notes that I'd once had in my diaries. I began to pay closer attention to who was entering and leaving my home and at what hours. Confirmation on paying close attention at this time. I began to search for a psychic and an astrologer too. I knew I had to delve a little deeper into all that was happening to me. I needed someone to confide in, someone to help me and believe in me. I knew I wasn't crazy, yet at the same time it was very difficult for me to keep a clear mind. There was something in my house, something I couldn't explain. I just felt it. It was heavy, and I always felt a weight over me, especially in my personal rooms. I had a sense that I was being watched constantly, that I was being held captive in some way in the corners of my mind. I couldn't understand it. The children seemed to be happy, and I felt a little more at peace with that. I had made sure to take pictures of the book that I had found, of all the images and markings I had found to show my friend. I mentioned in a channeling yesterday that Diana found a black book in her library that had a lot of images in of a satanic nature, really. So yeah, if you haven't watched the previous video, just to give you a little recap there. I trusted her. She knew so much about the stars and of lifetimes in other worlds and understandings outside of our usual science. She told me I had to start trusting myself, that I had to trust in everything I was feeling, everything that I was being guided to, shown in my dreams, my visions, and my nudgings. I had to follow it all and protect myself. I began to carry crystals and seek guidance under the stars. I felt as though they called to me. They knew something I didn't. Nighttime became my favorite time. The air felt at peace, and my mind seemed to clear, as though something knew I should be sleeping by now. That was when I woke up one night startled awake. It must have been just past 4:44 a.m. I noted the time, and I snuck out of my room. And that's when I saw Charles. He was laughing to himself, talking to something that wasn't there. He turned swiftly to me, as if he felt my presence. And that's when I saw it. His eyes were not the same. His face seemed to move in ways which I didn't think possible. His voice was different. Diana, go back to bed. You shouldn't be awake at this hour. He was indeed in one of those black gowns my children had mentioned. He didn't even try to hide the blood on his cheeks and his lips. He didn't care. He didn't care that I'd seen. He wanted me to. He wanted to scare me. I could feel that. I could sense that he felt great power in that moment over me. Diana, you knew this all along, he said. Don't try and play dumb now. You knew what you were getting yourself into. Well, lucky you. Now you are here. I froze. I didn't know what to say. I just felt sadness. Deep, deep sadness. I wasn't afraid. That was the funny thing. My body just grew stiff with anger more than anything. I was angry. I was angry he felt power over me. I was angry that he tried to blame me as though my being here was all my fault. He grimaced and turned to walk away from me. But in that moment I got the courage to shout, The children will be nothing like you, ever, and I will make sure of it. And that's where she stopped. I found a lot of synchronicities in there, what she mentioned, kind of exactly how the awakening process feels in terms of the mind cracking open, in terms of the feeling crazy and having people around you that don't think the same as you, not feeling safe, and feeling like you need to protect yourself. You know, and I think that most of us, this is where we started, and we started to look to the stars for answers, much like she did, and we sought guidance from, you know, seekers outside of ourselves, psychics and mystics, astrologers, and it just became very apparent to me that you know, Diana went through an ascension. She went through an ascension process all of her own, on her own, in something very, very, very insane, and very, very toxic. And she made it through, you know. I don't know all the ins and outs of her story, but I know she got out, at least. And she got herself as free as she could, and her children, by the sounds of it, as far as I know, with channeling her messages. So this is a story of great strength. This is a story of a woman's love for her children. This is a story of great pride in self and courage and knowing the right thing to do, and just having a deep sense that she was here for more than what she was given. She was here for more than she thought her life was. And, you know, I keep thinking back to how many lives she's touched, and I really hope that she does hold that in her heart. And she kind of mentioned that in the introduction in the last channeling, just how proud she was of herself, of how many lives she touched, and she should be. And, you know, I think that it's very admirable, the way she handled herself and seems to be handling this. So I'm looking forward to hearing more of the story. I don't know if looking forward to is the right word, but I am looking forward to hearing someone winning at least, you know, a few chapters of this massive awakening that we're having. I'm looking forward to hearing a bit of light in the darkness and hearing how we began to win. And I think this is one of those stories in that timeline, of just how we took over, of just how the light began to win. So I'm looking forward to hearing all about that. I think there's a lot in the world right now that's out there to scare us. I think there are more and more veils being pulled over our eyes, and I would encourage everyone to just stop believing the news, stop reading the news, seek the truth in your own heart, and follow your nudgings, follow your intuition, keep following your own guidance, and seek that guidance outside of self by being still and really being called to be still and come back to self, come back to listening to my own voice, my own intuition. I speak to my higher self a lot because I know she has the answers, and I know she's a few steps ahead than I am. So if you can do that, please do that, and ask for that, call in to be in alignment with your higher self, because that is your best self, that is your most angelic light being self. So if you're feeling in times of disarray, of confusion, call that in. I've taken the time to really sit in, feeling into my sacral chakra, and really kind of, I guess, a sense praying, setting intentions, and putting the things out there into the universe, what I want to experience, what I want to be achieving, what I want to be aligning myself with, and making sure that I'm in true alignment with my heart's calling. You know, I feel very called to be here doing this for you, but there is a lot of things that I want to experience in my life outside of this. And I'm making sure that I'm in true alignment for that, for myself, for all the things that I want to achieve on a personal level as well as a soul level, and how I can align all of those things together. We're coming into a time of great change, and I think it's really important that you start to begin to know yourself at a soul level. If you haven't started this journey yet, start small. Every day set intentions to be getting to yourself, to knowing yourself a little bit closer, to be trusting your intuition, to be aligning your chakra points, to be working on your energy systems, to be activating your third eye at this time, to be decalcifying your pineal gland so that you are able to receive all of this divine information that is coming in for us. I feel great awakenings happening. Lots of mini awakenings and activations coming in from the cosmic realms. We've got a lot of astrological placements coming up that are going to be really beneficial for us. So tune into that energy. Tune into the energy of everyone around you that you know you can trust. I think we are kind of stronger together right now. So, you know, team up with those people that you know you can trust, even if it is just people that you know over the internet. I was very much that person for a very long time in this journey. So do that, you know, reach out to those that you can trust and come together, meditating together, will be also really beneficial. That group energy is really, really, really helpful at this time to be aligning with people that are on the same wavelength as you. So find those spaces, seek them out. They will find you too. Don't worry about that. If you feel truly alone at this time and all you have is the internet, I promise you that the universe is bringing in people for you that are your tribe, and the universe has very, very, very fun ways that they can bring all of your people to you. And I'm very lucky to be where I am right now and to have some of my tribe with me. This is only the beginning, so have hope and heart. You know, I think these messages are really, really heavy, and there's a lot of information coming out right now, but please remember that the light is already won. We are already on the path to where we want to be, where we need to be, to being higher level, emotionally stable beings, and to be living in peace. I think that's what everyone wants, to be living in peace, and we are well on our way. So keep holding the faith, keep holding the light, and thank you again for all your beautiful comments and for just being here. You are the true army, you are the true light army, and I'm very grateful to have you all here, your presence, your energy. Even if you don't, put comments down, I feel you, I hear you, I see you, and I validate you, I validate your experience. You're not crazy, you're not dumb, you deserve to be here, you deserve to shine, so do not let anyone else tell you otherwise. Have a beautiful rest of the day, evening or morning, whenever you watch this. Please go well.